Here we are for another round of the 70s versus the 90s. And here, this is a tiebreaker round. We're currently tied 4-4, the 70s and 90s. So this one, it was a hard one, but it was also a fun one. This one, I put Roman Polanski's Chinatown against Curtis Hanson's LA Confidential. And now this, two exceptional movies. Movies that you can put on anytime and you're going to get into them. You know, that's the thing about Chinatown specifically, is the epitome of how collaborative cinema is. Because one, it had a strong script from the great Robert Towne. And on top of that, you know, Roman Polanski, not a particularly favorite director of mine. You know, the guy's very mid, but Chinatown is his masterpiece. You know, most motherfuckers will say Rosemary's Baby, and it's all right. Repulsion's really good too, but he never did anything better than Chinatown. You know, it's a perfect fucking movie, tailor made for its star Jack Nicholson, and man, this motherfucker never was more cold. Like just badass motherfucker, and Faye Dunaway makes a brilliant femme fatale. Like this is a throwback of the film noir of the 30s and 40s. You know, and in the kind of the fashion that was in the 70s, they did a lot of movies that were throwbacks, but also like kind of an anti throwback in a way, because where this is like a throwback to the classical cinema, it doesn't have the Hollywood ending. This is what made the 70s great. This is why people call it the intellectual adult cinema, because like, you know, it's just fucking just perfect. The cinematography, the atmosphere, the brilliant score by Jerry Goldsmith, and you know, even kind of meta in a way, because John Huston, who plays Noah Cross, the father of Faye Dunaway, and it's in real life at that time, Jack Nicholson was fucking his actual daughter, Angelica Houston, whereas in the movie he's fucking his fictional daughter, Faye Dunaway. So it's like it's fucking insane. You know, that's neither here nor there. That has no bearing on why the movie's great. The movie's great because one, Jack Nicholson's a fucking boss, and on top of that, nobody like spoke Robert Towne's dialogue better than Jack Nicholson. And one thing about it is like, if it wasn't for Polanski, the ending would not be what it is, because the original script had a happy ending, everything works out right, but you know, Polanski at that point in his life, shit was not going right for him. You know, his pregnant wife Sharon Tate was murked by the fucking Manson family. So like, you really think this guy is trying to do fucking happy Hollywood endings? Fuck no. And honestly, you know, weird kind of thing, birthed from a tragedy, we get this movie that's like, honestly, couldn't be more accurate of like how fucked up that town is, you know, and some of the best fucking dialogue, just that fucking like, forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown. You just can't beat them. You can't beat the system. Motherfuckers are rich and power, they're always gonna win. And you know what? You're only mad at it because you're not them, you know, but there's that bleakness, you know, and it's so solid too, you know, because it's very meticulous. You know, it kind of starts off a little slow, but you know, that's how a private investigator is. You know, it's very like, it's glamorous, but also not glamorous. You know, this is like pure fucking cinema. This is what makes the 70s great. You know, it's a fucking perfect movie. Just that you know, I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, you've probably fucking seen clips and shit. I'm not gonna go into, but there's just that scene with the slap and him and Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. It's just fucking brilliant. You know, there's nothing I can say about Chinatown that's bad. Like, there's no complaints. Perfect fucking movie, hands fucking down. But then we move forward to the 90s, where we have Curtis Hanson's L.A. Confidential, which LA Confidential's fucking great. Whereas like, yeah, Chinatown kind of rests on, you know, the badass stardom of Jack Nicholson, and even Faye Dunaway, who's a perfect compliment to him, you know, and not even really mad about the sex scene either, you know, because to me it felt organic, you know, like, oh, this bitch is really down, you know, she's badass, you know, fucking help. They go through some shit in this movie, and LA Confidential, Same thing. It starts off so strong. One of the best casts I've ever seen in a movie. Motherfuckers are just playing the shit out of these parts. You know, based off of a James Elroy novel, the movie might be better than the book. What Curtis Hanson and his co-screenwriter Brian Helgeland, I'll probably mispronounce that. I don't fucking know. They were able to craft a very episodic novel into this solid fucking movie. And you know, Russell Crowe is Bud White. That is one of my favorite characters. Honestly, probably Russell Crowe's best performance. And much like the character of Bud White, people underestimate him. You know, people are, oh, Russell Crowe's not that great of an actor. In LA Confidential, the fucking nuance of that performance is just fucking brilliant. And Kim Basinger, who won the Academy Award for this, she's a fucking knockout. And, you know, Guy Pearce, one of the greatest fucking actors of all time. That motherfucker, you know, he's good at playing this, you know, irksome motherfucker. But, like, his arc with him, but it's just so fucking... And Kevin Spacey, you know, say what you will about Spacey, you know, dude, creepy motherfucker, but one of the greatest actors of all time. And don't act like he wasn't telling you this shit his whole fucking career in every goddamn role that he played. This is probably the one role that wasn't fucking intimating just how fucked up and sleazy he was, you know? And it's a pretty sleazy part. But, you know, everything's just... And Danny DeVito, James Cromwell, like, it's some great fucking dialogue. Just that, oh, some men get the world... Others get ex-hookers in a trip to Arizona. It's, oh my God. It's no forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown, but it's pretty fucking good. But where LA Confidential falls short from me is the ending. Unlike Chinatown, where it's like nothing really gets resolved and, you know, evil doesn't get punished. If anything, evil prospers, you know, and the fucking... The good guy, the so-called good guy is just left standing with his dick in his hand. You know, what the fuck can you do? Whereas in LA Confidential, everything kind of works out for these motherfuckers, you know, in a way. I guess only Australians can survive Hollywood, you know, because Russell, you know, the spoilers or whatever the fuck, Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce are the ones that get out alive. But it's so, the thing about the ending is it's so lame that it's not memorable. It doesn't hold up with the rest of the fucking movie because, man, there's some great fucking moments. Very much equal to Chinatown in that regard, even if Jerry Goldsmith is kind of recycling his great score from Chinatown with this one. That's fucking insane, you know. I guess it has that feel, you know, when you already hit something like that to epitomize like fucking LA noir, I guess you could call it. But that's why I got to give it to Chinatown. That Chinatown breaks the tie 5-4 70s because, like I said, Chinatown's a perfect movie. I can't think of one single thing wrong with Chinatown. Whereas like LA Confidential, where it's fun, it's engaging, the performances, and on top of that, I left out one of my favorite actors, David Strathairn. Dude, that motherfucker is a boss too. Like every single, like it's just great until that fucking ending. Because by that point, you know, they're killing everybody off, and then like all of a sudden, you know, it's just, I don't really care anymore. I would have been more intrigued if, like, they all fucking died. Like, if fucking James Cromwell ended up getting away with it, you know? Because to me, that's what made Chinatown so fucking perfect. Is like, because that's real life. The good guys don't win, you know? They win in the fucking movies. And in a way, you know, the movie, whatever, if we make that goddamn argument. But if we're talking what's a better movie, motherfuckers remember that ending of Chinatown. Nobody fucking remembers how LA Confidential ends. They just remember that, maybe that line, you know, some men get the world, others get ex-hookers from in the trip to Arizona. But they remember the characters more than anything. And I gotta say this too, Curtis Hanson, a way better director than Roman Polanski. But Polanski, like I said, Chinatown's his masterpiece. Can't fuck, because think about this. If you do something for long enough, you're going to eventually, especially with directing, you will eventually make a good, if not great movie. Whereas like you probably made 10 shitty ones before then, you'll eventually you'll hit on something because film is fucking weird. You know, it's all about moments, timing, all that fucking shit. And Chinatown has that. LA Confidential, fun movie, but it all comes down to the ending. It just didn't wrap up well, you know. Everything kind of went, it's a cop out. That's what it is. That's Chinatown. hands down, fucking masterpiece. So there we have it. 5-4, 70s. Looks like I wasn't bullshitting myself after all. The fucking 70s probably is the greatest decade of American filmmaking. If not like this for the whole world. We'll cover some of that too, not just American films. We'll go, compare other films from around the world from both decades, the 70s and 90s. But next Saturday, we'll have Milos Forman's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest versus James Mangold's Girl Interrupted. So it's heating up. We're throwing the big hitters. If anything, like I said, this is a personal journey for me, going away to a rough draft of a dissertation. I don't fucking know. But if any of you motherfuckers see any of you film professors or any other film douches using any of this shit, let me know. Because I want to sit in on the lecture. I want to make sure they're doing this shit right. That's why we're documenting this here. It's all fucking history right here. So, and also, if I've said anything wrong, something you don't agree with, or, if you have any recommendations, eviscerate me in the comments. I'm open to all recommendations. I got a long, long list. I'll be doing this shit probably this time, all the way in this time next year, because I'm not stopping till I fucking go through all of these motherfuckers so I can finally prove once and for all which decade was better, the 70s or the 90s. So, we'll see. Next week, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest versus Girl Interrupted. And for all y'all keeping score, it's 5-4, 70s, baby.